Radio Caroline, broadcasting 24 hours a day from the radio ship Mi Amigo, anchored in the international waters of the North Sea. Tomorrow, Thursday the 3rd of March, Radio Caroline will be closing down at 6 p.m. and will reopen 6 days later on Wednesday the 9th of March on a new wavelength of 319 meters, 953 kilohertz. That's just beneath Radio 4 on your radio dial. Once again, Radio Caroline will be closing down at 6 p.m. tomorrow evening, Thursday the 3rd of March, for 6 days, and will reopen on Wednesday the 9th of March on 319 meters, 953 kilohertz.
Radio Caroline.
It's precisely 10 o'clock. This is Caroline.
It's 10.5 minutes to 6, 10.5 minutes to go. Isn't it exciting? The Stones from Rolled Gold there, painted black. James Ross, if you don't know already, is sort of flitting about on deck. He's up the sharp end, the forecastle at the moment, and he's going to talk to our transmitter engineer.
And I've got the transmitter engineer again, but this time not in the transmitter room, but on top of everything, on top of the small building which is on the boat.
Forecastle.
No, is that the forecastle?
Oh no, you're on top. You're on the roof.
On the roof.
Oh, it's the roof of the mess room, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. Anyway, yes. What can I say? What's that thing at the top? Capacity hat. What does that actually do?
As I say, that's effectively what's known as a capacity cap to make the aerial effectively taller than it really is, and it already is pretty tall. In fact, it's what, about 160 feet tall.
Yeah. That's 40 meters or what?
Perhaps 50 meters, shall we say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something wave, isn't it? A quarter wave or a half wave or something like that.
He's trying to be clever and say it's something wave. Quarter wave, is it?
Well, it's not far off a quarter wave.
I see. Why does it have to be actually taller than it is? Why have we got that capacity hat on the top?
I believe what happened about a year ago is the top section fell off.
Yeah.
And sort of a repair was done, and that was decided to be the best method of repairing it.
But why does it actually have to be...
Oh, well, to get this quarter wavelength.
I see.
It's the best height for an aerial.
Right.
To make it more efficient. There are millions of sort of guy wires all over the place, make it look quite impressive.
Sorry about the wind. Right at the bottom of the aerial is thing looks rather like a Dalek. It's got lots of little hujars and whatsits, and that's what is basically known as the feeder. It's how tall? About 3 feet tall?
It's the insulator.
Yes, it's a sort of a porcelain insulator, like you'd find on a one of those electricity pylon things.
Yeah.
And it goes to the bottom end is connected down into the transmitter room to the transmitter outputs, and the top goes into the feeder, and that goes up a long wire right up to almost the top of the aerial. I
think, Mark, that's all we can say about the ship.
Jolly good.
There's not much more I can see. It's getting really windy up here. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for everything, Mark.
My pleasure.
This has been James Ross reporting.
3.5 minutes to 6, which means it's goodbye time. That's it. That's all over, really. As I said, I can't impress on you enough. You must listen next week, Wednesday, March the 9th. New wavelength, 319 meters. 319. 953 kilohertz, just next to Radio 4. This is the last track from Colin Blunstone's LP, 1 year. It's called Caroline Goodbye. But it's not, it's au revoir.